Tuesday, traders. This is Jeff Kohler, the Option Addict from optionaddict.blogspot.com, and today it be Tuesday, October 9th, 2007. We all know what Tuesday is. It's time for another Option Addict hit list. Starting off here with the chart of FXI. If you've been reading my blog for the last several months, you know I'm heavily in to China right now. So a nice breakout here would be great. That means I get to make my position a little bit deeper and longer.
That's what she said.
If I start to see a little bit of a retracement, I'm going to have to start taking some profits, and I'm not wanting to do that. Anywho, I'm going to start off this week with Kohl's, KSS, looking at a potential trend reversal in this nice little inverted head and shoulder setup we see going on here. Action point right around the $60 mark, so a break of resistance here would mean we'll probably see about an $8 move up to some of its prior range in the $70 mark. Next, I've got GLYT, and you'll probably remember this from the last time that we spoke, but it's still on the radar. I'm watching this descending triangle form because it is a doozy. It's got quite a range for being a $60 stock, so keep an eye on GLYT. Next is GHM, and I've been watching this set up as a potential symmetrical triangle or pennant or however you want to label it. But it's starting to get towards its highs, and it's starting to rally here pretty strongly. So if it breaks above 45, that might mean I just pick up some shares and I deal with it. Anyway, next I'm going to move over to East West Bancorp, EWBC. And I'm looking at this as being a potential triple bottom, which has confirmed. But take a look at this nice little retest that we have here going on today. It means we've got a nice, perfect entry point right off about $38 per share. Next, I'm watching STI, SunTrust Banks, another descending triangle that's rolling over here today. I've also got Zion, speaking of banks, kind of a similar setup going on here. So banks still looking pretty bearish. But take a look at Ben, though. Beautiful breakout of a nice little triangle going on here today. It's screaming higher, up about $4. Liking this setup here. So Bob J, if you watched that takeout target yesterday, I'm going to bring up the old brother, Bob E. It's got a nice little descending triangle, solid support established at about 30.5. And if we see this break here, I'm looking this to get to the mid-20s easily. I'm also going to talk about LEG, L-E-G, descending triangle, textbook, albeit it's a cheap stock. So a lot of my bearish ideas this week are cheap, and there's a correlation there, obviously. ENR, Energizer Holdings. Yes, this stock just keeps on going and going, ha ha ha. But we've traded this 3 or 4 different times on Option Addict, and if you look at this right here, it's starting to flag here a little bit. So wait for a breakout of about 118, 119. I think we might see some healthy returns out of this stock. Next, I've got MMP, Magellan Partners, descending triangle, textbook. I'm sure you can all see it drawn out right there in front of you. If we're looking at cup and handles, I like this one here in Petro Canada, PZZ, which has still yet to confirm. I'm still waiting for a breakout. If you want to go XOM, you can take a look there. Or ConocoPhillips, COP, you're going to notice this in a lot of these stocks. Next, I'm going to go to CRK, that's good old Comstock. As this thing broke out into a new 52-week high, it's flagging a little bit. Watch for a retest right here at about 30.5. You can probably take just an anticipatory trade here, or wait for a breakout. Either or, I think this is a good trade ahead of earnings, but the announcement, no idea, to be quite honest. Next, I'm watching Overstock. Same thing, right ahead of earnings, but I love this little flag going on here, and lately these shorts have just been getting killed in this stock. So I want you to keep it on your list. COLM, Columbia Sportswear. Here's one of the bear flag nature. You can see I've got it drawn out the range from 57 to 53, and it's starting to kind of quietly climb a little bit higher. We want to see this happen, and when the bottom falls out, that's where you take a trade. Next, Electronic Arts. Starting to break out here today, number 1 into a new 52-week high and out of this nice little flag pattern. In fact, if I go into a 5-year here, you can see a nice little rounded bottom that we're starting to clear out of here. Like it a lot. So next, in terms of support and resistance bounces, LDSH. You can see this one. This was a breakout we watched back. No, it's still in a 5-year here. My bad.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Triangle, still have that drawn. Broke out. It's been running. I think this is a nice little point to get in if you missed the trade. Next, ESL. Again, the trend line's drawn here. You can see a nice little bounce off that going on today. Like it. BG, Bunge, same thing. It's consolidating right around support, although this one had a little bit of a stronger drop, so I'm a little cautious here. Might want to wait for a little more upside first. Bard, BCR, the dip, running, watch it. NUVA, Nuvasive, if it'll pull up, we're looking at pretty much the same thing. Nice little action point going on here. FTI, looking to buy the dip. Bio, B-I-O, Bio-Rad. This one must have got on the wrong list here. Never mind that guy. YZC. You can see I've got support drawn a couple ways here, and if China wants to rally, I think this one does very, very well. Next, TEF, same thing, looking to get some telecom. BIIB, I've been trading this thing forever. If you haven't traded it yet, it's a pretty nice ride. You should take a look. WBD, this thing's been on all kinds of lists, and I've never really found a good action point for it. I'm thinking this one might be okay right here at around 105, but we'll keep an eye on it though. MDT, same thing, watching for a little bounce. I've also got CSH, nice little flag and potential reversal in this trend going on here. Keep an eye on this as it continues. Global Santa Fe, GSF. I'm watching this little trend line I've got drawn here over the last couple months. We'll see how it holds up. MT, if you want a little bit of steel, keep an eye on that one. SYNA, another blog favorite. Oh, this one looking a little overextended today. It's getting a nice little move to the upside. How about we try SNDA? Oh, that one's starting to rally too ever since we talked about it. Up a couple of bucks. So there's a couple bullish ideas. Bearish, I'm looking at Cardinal Health number 1. You can see it's rallying pretty strong, so I want to let that take its toll. And when it starts to roll over again, look to ride it back down to the lower 60s. ENER, same thing. A couple of these bearish ideas are going to be cheap stocks, and of course, bearish ideas are ones that downtrend, and they're going to be cheap, so remember that. I'm also watching PNR, Pentair, Super Value, SVU, AMWD, American Woodmark, whatever. WNR, take a look. Refiners kicking back a lot of their profits. And we had a nice little head and shoulders reversal in here, one that I obviously missed. Maybe it might rally a little higher. You can catch it on a retest. Staples, SPLS, horrible retail stock here. PAYX, from what was once a bullish idea, has now turned bearish.
Whammy!
Watch that guy. MDC, boom, beautiful. How about NCS? Oh, pretty. THQI, ooh, looking good. As, doesn't look as good, but I love that ticker symbol. CPA, Copa Holdings, we got that one going on. WTS, you can see this one starting to rally here in a nice downward trend. Love that. Universal Forest Products, UFPI, it hasn't rallied much, but it's still rolling over again. MAS, it's rallying up, downward trend. PTRY, it's Old Pantry Incorporated, same thing. NS, same thing. SAH, in fact, I'll just stop explaining all of them. You'll see they all look virtually the same. Different groups, different industries, albeit. HSII, PNR, we already looked at that one. KB Homes, you want to get back into some home builders? I like KBH the most right now. ACIW, liking that one as well. AOS, just now starting to downtrend. Rail, RAIL. Look at that one there in the low 40s. Looks pretty good to me. Transport's sucking it up right now. And Pool, POOL, filling that gap. Look for that to hold right at about 28. Those are some of my ideas. I also have some stocks sitting at support or resistance. There's no way I'm going to be able to fit those into a minute, so maybe I'll follow up with a written post with some more ideas. Hope the effort is appreciated, but this will conclude my weekly watch list. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.